Hello.
Hi. Hi, I'm Heather.
Hi, I'm Rick, and we're the Bixlers.
The first time I met Rick, we were young enough that I don't even remember. But the first time I remember meeting Rick was when I walked in on him in a porta-john at a softball game.
Nice.
How old were you, Rick?
Probably 7.
I was like 11. But he didn't lock the door. Who doesn't lock the door in a porta-john? I'm just saying.
7-year-old.
But we were actually reunited when we were much older at a 4th of July party. We were married on November 13th, 2000 and...
Why would you ask me that? It's 2004.
We knew we wanted to have kids. We knew we wanted to have more than one kid because we just enjoyed our siblings so much. They're our best friends. So we started, after we moved in this house and Rick got his job with 4 Mile, that's when we decided was the time we should start trying. So we were married about 2 years at that point. After we had been trying to have a baby for about a year, things weren't really happening, and because I was over 30, I figured we shouldn't waste any more time. So I went to a fertility specialist, and we tried for about a year to different procedures, all the way up to but not including in vitro fertilization. We decided that that wasn't an option for us for multiple reasons. And so when I sat down with Rick and I sat down and to talk about it, and I said, well, Rick, what if this doesn't work? What should we do? And Rick actually suggested to me that he had always thought it would be a special experience to adopt a child, even if we could have biological children. And at that point, I started to cry because just the fact that he was open to that option was a big relief and a big burden off of my shoulders, because I knew that was the route that I wanted to take as well.
I did not hesitate at all to say, adoption is the route for us, and I think we've really come to grips with this is God's plan for us, and this is where He wanted us, and Him placing our daughter in our arms is really the way that He wanted us to go about it.
It was a very long process and a very long journey, and it was emotionally draining at times too, because we'd get emails that would say, this is a potential birth mother, this is what she's looking for, this is what we know about her to provide you with information. And so we would say, yes, please show her our profile, and then would wait nervously to find out if that was the right choice, God's choice for us, or we would have to make the difficult decision to say, no, that doesn't sound like a good fit, and then we would wonder if we had just passed up an opportunity that God wanted us to take. And so we were approved for adoption in June of 2009, and it wasn't until October of 2010 that we received the email that that Lauren, Lily's birth mother, was looking for an adoptive family, and we had talked and prayed about it and decided that we would ask her to show her our profile. And we didn't hear anything for a couple weeks. Now, prior to this, about 6 months before, Rick and I decided that we were going to schedule a vacation. The day before we were leaving for the trip, Rick stayed home to get some work done around the house, and I was at work. And I came home from work, and Rick met me at the door with a bouquet of flowers, and he asked me if I was ready to be a mom. And first of all, that's really special because there's not many opportunities for dads to surprise moms that they're going to be parents. But also because we had kind of given up on that opportunity, and here it was. So we canceled our trip. And the next day, instead of going to New Orleans, we went to Ohio, and we had to stay in a hotel for 2 weeks until all the interstate paperwork was complete. So we lived in the Residence Inn in Boardman, Ohio for 2 weeks with a newborn baby.
The first time I saw my daughter was a couple workers from Bethany and Lauren, the birth mom. They brought her in and everything, and she was just a little peanut at the time. I mean, she was only 8 pounds, 5 ounces. So she was just so small, but she just looked so beautiful when she first came in and everything like that. And I just looked at Heather, and I could just tell how happy and overcome with emotion that she was at the time. And
it was just such a special experience that all these people who helped our journey along the way and made Lily's transition into our home so special.
So Heather and I just started last month discussing the possibility of adopting a second child once Lily's adoption was finalized on the 17th. It took about a year or so for it to get finalized and everything, but I think we're ready for another one. If it takes another 2 years, that's great too. It'll give us some time just to spend with Lil and everything, but we're also very excited about adding on to our family too and accomplishing our goal of having 2 children too.
So pray for us.
Night, Lil.